ships and vehicles.
Faster-than-light drives use element zero cores to reduce the mass of the ship, allowing higher rates of acceleration.
Have we done
This
this before?
effectively raises the speed of light within the mass effect field, allowing high-speed travel with negligible relativistic time dilation effects.
I didn't do relativistic.
Starships still require conventional thrusters, chemical rockets, commercial fusion torch, economy ion engine, or military antiproton drive, in addition to the FTL drive core. With only a core, a ship has no motive power.
What is an antiproton?
The amount of ESO and power required for a drive increases exponentially to the mass being moved and the degree it is being lightened. Very massive ships or very high speeds are prohibitively expensive.
Oh, yeah, we have
If the field collapses while the ship is moving at faster than light speed, the effects are catastrophic. The ship is snapped back to sublight velocity, the enormous excess energy shed in the form of lethal Cherenkov radiation.
That doesn't sound good, like it snapped back. Lethal, you know, doesn't sound good. Ship classifications.
Larger warships are generally classified in one of 4 weights. Frigates are small, fast ships used for scouting and screening of larger vessels. Frigates often operate in wolf-pack flotillas. Cruisers are middleweight combatants, faster than dreadnoughts and more heavily armed than frigates.
They're going for the middleweight belt.
Cruisers are the standard patrol unit and often lead frigate flotillas. Dreadnoughts are kilometer-long capital ships mounting heavy, long-range firepower. They are only deployed for the most vital missions. Carriers are dreadnought-sized vessels that also carry large numbers of fighters. Smaller vessels are almost exclusively used in a support role to the warships during combat. Fighters are one-man craft used to perform close-range attacks on enemy ships. Interceptors are one-man craft optimized for destroying opposing fighters.
I think we're on a frigate, aren't we? Oh, I was thinking... No. Maybe. Right, let's hear about the Normandy.
The Normandy is a prototype starship developed by the Human Systems Alliance with the assistance of the Citadel Council.
They already know how it works.
It is optimized for scouting and reconnaissance missions in unstable regions using state-of-the-art stealth technology.
Okay.
For most ships, the heat generated through standard operations is easily detectable against the absolute zero background of space. The Normandy, however, is able to temporarily sink this heat within the hull. Combined with refrigeration of the exterior hull, the ship can travel undetected for hours or drift passively for days of covert observation.
Ooh, that sounds good.
This is not without risk. The stored heat must eventually be radiated, or it will build to levels capable of cooking the crew alive.
That does not sound good.
Another component of the stealth system is the Normandy's revolutionary Tantalus drive, a Mass Effect core twice the standard size. The Tantalus drive generates mass concentrations that the Normandy falls into, allowing it to move without the use of heat-emitting thrusters.
Ah, I see. So it's like... It creates like a gravitational pocket just in front of it, so that the gravity is constantly just in front of it, so it gets pulled along by the gravity of the mass. Ooh, that sounds quite cool. I mean, wasn't Ashley was complaining, oh, these aliens, they're going to see what it's like, but the Citadel Council already know about it and how it works, so they helped build it and develop it and everything. Conspiracy theories. I bet she thinks that there's something going on at Novaria. Probably because there is, because we're being sent there. Right, space combat.
Ship mobility dominates space combat. The primary objective is to align the mass accelerator along the bow with the opposing vessel's broadside. Battles typically play out as artillery duels, fought at ranges measured in thousands of kilometers, though assaults through defended mass relays often occur at knife fight ranges, as close as a few dozen kilometers.
Okay.
Most ship-to-ship engagements are skirmishes between patrol vessels of cruiser weight and below, with dreadnoughts and carriers only deployed in full-scale fleet actions.
Or heavyweight bouts.
Battles in open space are short and often inconclusive, as the weaker opponent typically disengages. Once a ship enters FTL flight, the combat is effectively over. There are no sensors capable of tracking them or weapons capable of damaging them. The only way to guarantee an enemy will stand and fight is to attack a location they have a vested interest in, such as a settled world or a strategically important mass relay.
Okay. Let's hear about the Mako.
The Mako infantry fighting vehicle was designed for the System Alliance's frigates. Though the interior is cramped, an M35 is small enough to be carried in the cargo bay and easily deployed on virtually any world.
That's not really a though.
With its turreted 155mm mass accelerator and coaxially mounted machine gun, the Mako can provide a fire team with weapon support as well as mobility. Since Alliance Marines may be required to fight on any world, the Mako is environmentally sealed and equipped with microthrusters for use on low-gravity planetoids.
Right.
The Mako is powered by a sealed hydrogen-oxygen fuel cell and includes a small Element Zero core.
So it makes water.
While not large enough to nullify the vehicle's mass, the core can reduce it enough to be safely airdropped. When used in conjunction with thrusters, it also allows the Mako to extricate itself from difficult terrain.
That's a lie. I've tried that and it didn't do anything. Grumble, grumble. But yeah, I mean, I remember something about in chemistry where one of the things they were really trying to solve is how to create an enzyme that could hold, or some kind of chemical composite that would hold the hydrogen in an engine or in some kind of fuel that you could actually use the fuel for it, turn it into fuel, like put it into a car or something, burn it so you just produce water vapor, which is environmentally friendly. Right, technology.
Biotics is the ability of rare individuals to manipulate dark energy and create mass effect fields through the use of electrical impulses from the brain. Intense training and surgically implanted amplifiers are necessary for a biotic to produce mass effect fields powerful enough for practical use. The relative strength of biotic abilities varies greatly among species and with each individual. There are three branches of biotics.
Sorry.
Telekinesis uses mass-lowering fields to levitate or impel objects. Mass-raising kinetic fields are used to block or pin objects. Spatial distortion uses rapidly shifting mass fields to shred objects. Most organic species are capable of developing biotic abilities, though there are risks involved. Biotics are the result of an in utero exposure to Element Zero. This usually causes fatal cancers in the victim, but in rare cases, it coalesces into nodules within the fetus's developing nervous system.
My goodness. That changes everything. Kind of a bit of... I mean, I would... Right. Going back to what Caden was saying about people... There being rumours that whoever it was were experimenting on people like this to make biotics. Like, oh, it's an accident. Inverted commas accident. My goodness, this is horrible. Usually causes fatal cancers in the victim. So yeah, just kill the baby. My goodness, this is getting really, really horrible. Okay, when did the AI rise against this?
An artificial intelligence is a self-aware computing system capable of learning and independent decision-making. Creation of a conscious AI requires adaptive code, a slow, expensive education, and a specialized quantum computer called a blue box.
Quantum.
An AI cannot be transmitted across a communication channel or computer network. Without its blue box, an AI is no more than data files. Loading these files into a new blue box will create a new personality, as variations in the quantum hardware and runtime results create unpredictable variations. The Geth serve as a cautionary tale against the dangers of rogue AI, and in Citadel space they are technically illegal. Advocacy groups argue, however, that an AI is a living, conscious entity, deserving the same rights as organics. They argue that continued use of the term artificial is institutionalized racism on the part of organic life. The term synthetic is considered the politically correct alternative.
Baba Rainbow Sheep, indeed.